Good evening, guys. So today we'll take up problem on electrostatics, and we'll be taking up a problem which has been asked on electrostatics in your previous JEE, right? And we'll have a look at the question and look at how to solve that problem. Right? So let me share the screen with you guys. Yeah. So this was the question which was asked in JEE 2009, and the question goes as such: you have a solid sphere of radius r, which has a charge q distributed in its volume. And it has a charge density which varies with distance from the center according to the relation rho is equal to kr per a, right? So this is not a uniformly charged sphere. We have a non-uniformly charged sphere over here. So the electric field, if the electric field at r is equal to r by 2, is 1 by 8 times that of the electric field at r is equal to capital R. We need to find out what the value of a here over will be equal to. We need to find out what the value of a over here will be equal to, right? So let's look at how to solve this question. So we have a sphere, right? And the charge is non-uniformly distributed in the sphere, and your charge density is given according to relation rho is equal to kr per a, right? And we need to find out what this value of a is such that your electric field at r is equal to r by 2 is equal to 1 by 8 times the electric field at r is equal to r, right? So we'll just try to use this condition which is given over here. We'll make use of the charge density which is given, and we'll try to write this equation in terms of this unknown. And we'll find out what the electric field at r by 2 is. We'll find out what the electric field at r is. And then we'll make use of this condition, and we'll see if this gives us the answer of what a will be equal to over here, right? So now let's try to find out what the electric field at r is equal to r by 2, right? And if you want to find out what's the electric field at r is equal to r by 2, the obvious step which should leap in our mind over here is that we can say that the electric field at every point which the distance of r is equal to r by 2 must be equal. So you can make use of Gauss law over here, right? So to find out the electric field at r is equal to r by 2, we'll make use of Gauss law over here. And the expression for Gauss law which we'll be writing over here is integral E bar into ds bar will be equal to charge enclosed divided by epsilon naught. Will be equal to charge enclosed divided by epsilon naught, right? And since electric field has to be radially outwards everywhere over here from symmetry, and because each point is kind of similar to each point on the surface is similar, your electric field has to be the same at all points. So what will integral E bar dot ds bar simplify into? So E bar dot ds bar will simplify into, so your ds bar has to be perpendicular to the surface at all points, and electric field will also be perpendicular to the surface at all points. Electric field will also be perpendicular to the surface at all points. So integral E bar dot ds bar will first of all become equal to integral E into ds into cos 0. The angle between the area vector and the electric field vector at all points is 0 degrees. As you can see, your area vector will also be taken in the outward direction, that is perpendicular to the tangent, right? And this will become equal to integral E into ds, right? And for any small area which we take on the surface of the sphere, your electric field will have the same value at all these points. So your E is common for all the ds which you're taking on the surface of the sphere. So your integral E into ds will simplify into E into integral ds, as E is common for all the ds which you're taking. And what will this integral ds become equal to? That's the sum of all the areas on the surface of the sphere. So that will become equal to the surface area of the sphere. So that will become equal to E into 4 pi r square, right? So from this, you can find out what the E value is by relating it to the charge enclosed divided by epsilon, right? So integral E bar dot ds bar simplifies to E into 4 pi r squared over here. And that should now be equal to charge enclosed divided by epsilon naught. So what's the total charge enclosed within the sphere of radius r by 2? What is the total charge enclosed within the sphere of radius r by 2? So to find out what's the total charge enclosed within the sphere of radius r by 2, we'll first, because you're charged, so how would we try finding this out? The way we'll try finding this out is, we might be tempted to use a formula that the charge located inside the sphere will be equal to charge density into volume. But your charge density is not common, is not a constant value from 0 to r. Your charge density keeps on varying at different distances from the center. So the way we'll go about this is, we will take an element, we'll take an elementary shell. We'll take an elementary shell over here, as I've shown in this diagram. And we'll say that we have, or let's take an elementary shell of radius x having a small thickness dx. Let's take an elementary shell of radius x having a small thickness dx. And now since all these points on the shell are located at a distance of x from the center, your charge density will be the same at all these points. And your charge density at this point on the shell, or your charge density on the surface of the shell, would be equal to kx par a. It will be equal to kx par a, right? And this charge density will now, I can say, is now constant for this shell, for the shaded volume. And what will be the shaded volume over here? So denoting the shaded volume by dV, I'll say that the shaded volume over here is nothing but the surface area of the shell multiplied by the thickness. So this charge density will be constant for this volume. So what will be the charge inside that shaded volume? The charge inside the shaded volume will be equal to charge density multiplied with the volume. So it will be kx par a into 4 pi x squared dx. Right? So this gives us what is the volume in the shell. This gives us what is the charge located in this volume of the shell. But I need to find out what's the charge located inside the entire sphere from 0 to r by 2. So what we'll now do is we'll sum up all the charge located in all these shells. We'll sum up the charge located in all these shells which are having radius from x is equal to 0 to x is equal to capital R by 2. And on integrating this, what do we get? So we are doing this to find out what's the charge enclosed. We're doing this to find out what's the charge enclosed inside this sphere of radius r by 2 over here, right? So on integrating this, we'll get this to be equal to 4 pi k integral x bar 2 plus a into dx, which turns out to be 4 pi k of x bar 3 plus a by 3 plus a, with the limits being from r by 2 to 0. And by substituting the limits, we get the charge enclosed value. So this is the charge enclosed till r is equal to r by 2. As we're taking our limits till r by 2 only. As we're taking our limits till r by 2 only, right? So we get this value to be equal to 4 pi k of r by 2 power 3 plus a divided by 3 plus a. Once again, we're making use of Gauss law to find out what will be your field value at a distance of r by 2 from the center. And your Gauss law states that your integral E bar dot ds bar should be equal to charge enclosed divided by epsilon naught. So we saw that your integral E bar dot ds bar becomes equal to E into 4 pi r squared, and that should now be equal to charge enclosed divided by epsilon naught. So you're finding out this charge enclosed from this density relation which is given, from this charge density relation which is given. So you found out what is the charge enclosed in this sphere right now by saying that is the sum of charge in all the shells, by adding up the sum of charges in all those shells located. So ultimately, now using this relation, so now writing down your Gauss law expression, we get E into 4 pi r squared. Then now what's your r value over here? R value is r by 2. So E into 4, because that was a shell of radius r by 2 which we have taken. So E into 4 pi of r by 2 whole squared will be equal to 4 pi k of r by 2 power 3 plus a by 3 plus a. Right? So 4 pi gets cancelled. So what do we get the field value at that point to be equal to? We get the field value at r is equal to r by 2 equal to k into r by 2 power a plus 1. This whole square goes over to the other side, so it becomes r by 2 power a plus 1 divided by a plus 3. So this is your field value at r is equal to r by 2, right? So once again, our logic over here is, so just make use of the condition which is given in the question. That is, your field at r is equal to r by 2 is 1 by 8 times of the field at r is equal to r, right? So now similarly, let's find out what will be your field at the surface of the sphere. We'll now find out what's the field at the surface of the sphere. So to find out what's the field at the surface of the sphere, we'll take our Gaussian surface to be the sphere itself. We'll take the Gaussian surface to be the sphere itself. So now once again, we'll apply Gauss law with your Gaussian surface being the shell of radius capital R itself. Shell of radius capital R itself, right? And once again, here we see that electric field is perpendicular to the surface at all points from symmetry, right? And again, we see that electric field must have the same value at all these points because none of these points are dissimilar from the other points. They're all kind of equivalent from symmetry, right? So what would we write integral E bar or ds bar once again in this case to be equal to? So once again, integral E bar or ds bar becomes equal to E into 4 pi r squared, right? And this is now calculated at small r is equal to, that is the radius of the shell which you're taking over here is capital R. So this will become equal to E into 4 pi capital R squared, right? And again, this integral E bar or ds bar should be equal to charge enclosed divided by epsilon naught. So once again, we need to find out what's the charge enclosed within this shell. need to find out what's the charge enclosed within the sphere. I'm sorry. And what will be a charge enclosed within the sphere? Again, we'll make use of our integration. Since our charge density is not constant, we'll once again take a shell having a radius x, having a thickness dx, right? And we'll say that our charge density is constant for this shell. The same logic as we had done in the previous question, as in the previous case. So what will be your charge density over here? My charge density over here will be equal to kx bar a. The volume of the shell which I've taken is equal to 4 pi x squared into dx. Again, I'm only taking the volume on this region. Your charge density is not constant over the entire volume, it's only constant on the surface. So kx bar a is the charge density multiplied with the volume, that is 4 pi x squared into dx. And now what we have gotten over here is the charge of one shell. Now we'll say that the sphere is made up of many such shells. So what will be the charge located on this entire sphere? That will be the sum of charge on each shell with the x value varying from x is equal to 0 to x is equal to capital R, right? And again, simplifying this expression, we get 4 pi k of x bar 3 plus a by 3 plus a, with our limits right now being from x is equal to 0 to x is equal to capital R. As once again, we are calculating what's the charge inside the entire sphere. And this will then turn out to be 4 pi k of r bar 3 plus a by. We found out what was the charge enclosed. And now applying Gauss law. Sorry, I made a small mistake. This is because charge enclosed divided by epsilon naught. I forgot to take care of the epsilon naught. Fine. Okay. Now applying Gauss law over here, what will be your formula which you'll be using? So integral E bar dot ds bar should be equal to charge enclosed divided by epsilon naught. And what's our integral E bar dot ds bar over here? We calculated that to be equal to E into 4 pi capital R squared. That will now be equal to, what is our charge enclosed? Our charge enclosed was 4 pi k of r bar 3 plus a by 3 plus a. And that divided by epsilon naught again, divided by epsilon naught. So what do we get the electric field value at r is equal to capital R? We get the electric field value at r is equal to capital R to be equal to 4 pi gets cancelled. We're left out with k into r bar a plus 1 by epsilon naught of 3 plus a. By epsilon naught of 3 plus a. Now we have calculated what the electric field at r is equal to r by 2 is. That was equal to this expression. And we have also calculated what was the electric field at r is equal to r. That was equal to this expression. And now we'll make use of a condition that electric field at r is equal to r by 2 is 1 by 8 times the electric field at r is equal to r. And from this, hopefully, we'll get what the value of a will be equal to. So substituting the condition over here, we got this as k into r bar a plus 1 divided by epsilon naught of 3 plus a will be equal to k into, or 1 by 8 of k into r by 2 whole power a plus 1 divided by epsilon naught of 3 plus a. Right? Actually, it's the other way around. I'm really sorry, guys. It's the other way around. Let me take the 1 by 2 to the other side. 1 by 8 to the other side. Right? So electric field at r is equal to r by 2 is 1 by 8 times electric field at r is equal to r. Right? And now your k gets cancelled. Epsilon naught gets cancelled. 3 plus a also gets cancelled. So we get 1 by 8 of r bar a plus 1 to be equal to r by 2 par a plus 1, which I can write as r par a plus 1 by 2 par a plus 1. R par a plus 1 also gets cancelled. So we get 2 par a plus 1 to be equal to 8. And from this we get a plus 1 to be equal to 3, which implies a should be equal to 2, which is the answer for this question. Right? So this was a question which involved a simple application of Gauss law over here, but here we had to be careful with our integration to find out what was the charge enclosed in each of the shells over here. I hope this question is clear, guys.